I'm Paola Bertola, professor of fashion design at the School of Design of Politecnico di Milano, and I will present the paper which is titled Emerging Paradigms in the New Multidisciplinary Education Arena, the case of Milano Fashion Institute, which has been written by myself and my two colleagues, Professor Chiara Colombi and Professor Federica Vacca. The paper depicts the situation of education in the field of design and specifically in fashion in Italy, starting from a research work that has been done studying the evolution of the fashion system in Italy and the changing paradigms in profession and so in education which is emerging now. Of course, fashion is a phenomenon that in the collective mind is related to the fascination of haute couture and the phenomenon which is related more to France. But in Italy, the system of fashion has a slightly different history. In fact, in Italy, the fashion system is much more connected first to the production system and to the manufacturing system than to the idea of tailors and people who approach fashion in an artisanal way. So as you can see from the pictures, the history of manufacturing of fashion in Italy really started very soon, and it was based on products such as accessories or menswear, which were stable products that could be produced industrially, but looking for an high quality type of products, also in terms of fabrics and the different components that relates to those products. So the manufacturing cultures actually started much before the design culture in the country. So the picture of Italy that you can observe on the slide is a simplified picture of the system of industrial district that still characterize the country. Of course, the system transformed a lot during the last years, but is still very much rooted in the country, and you can see that it is spread all over the territory, and it refers not just to the final products, the ones that goes to final consumers like garments, accessories and jewelry and so on and so forth, but also to the components that create the quality of final products, such as materials, fabrics, metal accessories, and also the machinery that actually are then used to produce these products that have been innovated a lot to produce those type of high quality results. So this system has been very relevant in the way fashion Italian system has been generated, and in fact, as you can see from the following slide, the typical recipe that actually created the success of fashion made in Italy, but in general of design made in Italy, was the connection between the manufacturing culture, the entrepreneurial approach, and the design culture. So as you can see, this type of couple of two souls that characterize the system were the real recipe of the evolution of the system. So what was created was an untypical sort of organizational model within companies where the management type of profession were at the same level of the creative type of profession, which is not common in other fields and in other sectors. And this was the typical system of organizing companies and processes in the Italian fashion sector. So this is the history and the way the system has been transformed during the years, starting from the end of the Second World War and coming to nowadays. But actually, since the beginning and the moment of the maximum success of the system, which was during the 80s, many things has changed. And particularly, of course, when Italian ready-to-wear products arrived into the markets during the late 70s and during the 80s, they were actually the only type of high-quality industrialized product. So the market was in a certain way empty of proposals, and this was also the space for them to become successful and recognized worldwide as the solution for a ready-to-wear product which could incorporate qualities that was common for a tailored product. But nowadays, of course, globalization and the high level of competition changed this situation. And in fact, as you can see from the picture, which is of course a provocative one as well, the type of options that first of all customers have on the market are many more than in that specific period. Industrialized high quality product can be produced in many places around the world, and of course also the competition of new countries approaching the field of fashion products has become very high and affected a lot also the competitiveness of Italian companies. So this of course is a situation that changed the way Italian company had to compete, but also their organization to face these new challenges and this fast evolution of the system. And also, of course, target segmentation really changed. If we compare today, for example, to the 80s, we have a situation where a group of a niche of market that could be related to young people that could be recognized with a certain type of values and lifestyle during the 80s, nowadays much more segmented, and each type of different part of the market can be interpreted through many different type of profiles. So this complex world of type of customers and targets that company have to face already, it's of course another challenge that creates a new difficulty for them to conceal their collection and to really bring to those type of new complex customers an offer that could really meet their needs. So, as during the 80s, a target, a customer, could be really faced with total look proposals and could be fidelized much more easier. Nowadays, what is called cross-dressing is a common phenomenon of advanced consumer, as they can really browse among different brands and buy different things and build up their own identities and their own package of product in a very uncommon and original way. So they are much more mature and able to select different offers, and this of course creates a much more complex market to face. So what characterizes today the system are, on one side, more design variables to be coordinated and controlled within the process of research, creation, and production of products. And then of course more products typologies, because the trends to go towards total look created within the same brand the necessity of face different creation process related to different typologies and categories of products. And then more products categories that are really different in terms also of technological requirement and production processes. So all these elements really created the needs on one side to think of design not just related to product, but of design mix as really the combination of product, communication and service as a whole, and the company must be able to face all these different area of design and creation to be coherent in any different aspect to the values of the company and to be really perceived from customers. On the other side, of course, within the same brand, the segmentation of target created the needs of differentiate the product. As you can see here, Armani was a pioneer in this trend, and starting from the first collection, he really created different labels to target different markets. Here, for example, we have Emporio Armani targeted for a younger group of people, Giorgio Armani, which is the main collection, which is the luxury pret-a-porter collection, but then Armani Privé, because during the last year he created also the haute couture collection, and so on and so forth. He created, for example, a label just for the United States, which is Armani Exchange, which is a combination of casual wear and pret-a-porter, which is specifically targeting the type of lifestyle which is characterizing the US. So this element created more complexity to coordinate different, of course, labels within the same brand, but also the idea of bringing to the final customer a complete offer of categories that could really answer to the whole lifestyle of customer also created complexity. As you can see, for example, going back to the case of Armani, the idea of really extend the brand not just to garments and to accessories, but to the whole idea of lifestyles in terms of beauty, furniture, also services with hotels and restaurants. So the idea of translating the brand into the different type of offers, material and immaterial, that can communicate the same values. So who are the people that can manage all this complexity and this system? Of course, starting from the typical couple of Italian design, the entrepreneur or manager together with the creative people, then everything really changed, and the evolution brought the system to incorporate many different roles that actually kept the original soul, and all these different professionals incorporate in themselves both the managerial attitude and the creative attitude, and this is the specificity. So what I'm going to present is what has been created in terms of educational offer that can offer to students and candidates the opportunity to get in touch with this double culture and to incorporate skills, knowledges and attitudes that can face both the managerial and organizational part of the work, but without denying the creative aspects, which is also the added value of this system. And in fact, in the following slide, you can see very simplistic pictures of what is today the system of research, creation, production and marketing of fashion products and fashion brands. And there are many different type of activities, and in each of them there are type of professionals that incorporate both the two souls that I was talking about. You can see three main chain of activities that characterize, of course, in the center the products creation and development, but are strictly connected to the communication, planning and management, and to the markets development and retailings. And these three main chains are strictly integrated throughout all the process of product creation. So as a case, I would like to present what has been done within a consortium created among three of the main Italian university, which are also ranked at international level, which were already giving programs in the field of fashion, but were connected within this consortium to integrate their different disciplinary orientation. So if we go back to the three different chains of processes that we saw before, the communication, the product creation, and the marketing and retailing, these are really representing the three souls that have been connected in this consortium, which are the Politecnico di Milano and the Design School for Product Creation, the communication, which is represented by the Catholic University with social science and communication, and then the management, which is represented by Bocconi University. So this is a unique experience in Europe that really started from the idea that contemporary education must face the challenge of multidisciplinary to incorporate the tradition of Made in Italy, but also to face the new challenges which are characterizing this field. So the goal of MFI, the consortium that has been created, Milano Fashion Institute, is for all these three main processes, giving new answers and creating new professionals that can face this new context of operation. So on the communication, planning and management, on the product design and development, and on the markets development and retailing, the consortium offers different master programs which are conceived to really integrate different disciplines and create new skills and new capacities in new types of professionals. In particular, as a case of educational programs that were created, we can, for example, think of feedbacks that the digital challenge brought into the field of fashion. Only this change really created the need for new professions. So, for example, in the communication, planning and management, for sure were created hybrid profiles that can really face the idea of communication throughout new type of medias, but not just new media, but new ways of interacting, for example, related to all the phenomenon of social media and social interaction. Within the product development process, what happened was that, for example, the whole timeline that traditionally was conceived as a linear model has changed during the last year, and now the creative process is going towards a model where it is a continuous process that continuously creates new products, as it is in fast fashion, so losing the idea of seasonality quality and being a circular and continuous process. And of course, this created the need for new professions. And in the market development and retailing, also the digital challenge was a very important change, because some old type of professions that were related to the physical retailing had to be transformed into digital kind of professionals. So we, for example, saw the rising of new professions as the digital marketing managers or the e-commerce managers, and so on and so forth. So how all this was faced by the consortium within the educational programs. The idea was really to create a multidisciplinary type of program that is basically divided in three steps of education, which are called warm-up, fashion pillars, and fashion processes. Warm-up is the basis of education, where in any different disciplinary field we provide tools and basic knowledge to then be used during the process of education, but also then within the professional arena, and in particular the basic of economics and management and quantitative methods, but also the basic design tools that can be a support for visual design and also concept generation. Then in fashion pillars, the education is already focused in the fashion field, and again integrating different disciplinary fields. The main knowledge related to fashion are faced, like project management, fashion history, which is faced through different perspectives, so the economical fashion history, the design fashion history, the social science fashion history, and so on and so forth. The third educational level is called fashion processes, and this is really already focused on the key processes that characterizes the three different lines that I showed before. So the processes which characterize the product creation, so brand and product management, the processes that characterize retail and experience management, and the processes that characterize communication and social media management. Being focused on processes, it's granted that then these are faced throughout different disciplinary contribution. So for example, brand direction needs a contribution of management, but also of strategic design, and so on and so forth. And then the fourth part is related to learning by doing, where these processes are in a certain sense put at work. So real companies are taking part in the educational process, offering briefs to the different group of students, real brief, and the students have to produce real multidisciplinary projects and outcome to offer real answers to them. This is still an activity which is in class, and it is supported by tutors from the academy, so professors, but also by tutors from the company. So as you can see, this field project part is very important and relevant for the master, and you can see the four main work package that characterize any field project. Of course, the planning, then a part of research and blueprinting activities related to the company, a part of strategic planning and meta design, a part of concept generation, and then the presentation directly managed with the company. So this is a very brief presentation of a project which was created to face contemporary challenges in education through the mean of multidisciplinarity. Thank you.